Hey, welcome back to Whitetail Garage. This weekend, we've got a lot to do. So, got the engine bay painted. I don't think that there's much to talk about there other than did a base coat with rust reformer. Anywhere there was rust, I did a wire brush, and then anywhere there was rust, I did the rust reformer, and then did sandpaper anywhere else, and then painted the engine bay, inside the engine bay, with the VHT roll bar chassis paint. And then I had this lying around. It's just a satin gloss Rust-Oleum, and that's what I did the inner fenders with. Just plain enamel paint. So you probably can't tell on camera, but there is a sheen difference. This is a lot more satin, which is the VHT, and the satin gloss from Rust-Oleum is not nearly as satin as I would prefer, but it's I think a tougher paint, and it's in the inner fender, so I'm not terribly worried about it. But both sides are in, all done, looks good. So there's a ton I can do now, right? So I could stab the engine back in it. I do need to clean up the transmission because the last person did some overspray. I don't know if you could see a little bit of blue there, so I got to clean that up because I want it to look of the natural finish of the aluminum. So I'm going to try and use a degreaser and a wire brush, and hopefully that paint will come off. But then engine and transmission can go back in. I've got a bunch of stuff coming in today, so a big order that has just all kinds of stuff, heater box and all the stuff associated with that. I believe the top is coming in at some point this weekend. A bunch of interior parts are coming in. So just a lot I can do. I'm not sure what order I'm going to do it in or how I'm going to do it, but come along for the ride and let's see what we can get done. All right, so FedEx just dropped off a bunch of packages, so we're going to go ahead and take some time to go through these, see what all we got. While out there, I've got some parts drying. I just cleaned them up, and then we'll get those painted so that way they can go back on. Let's take a look at what's in these boxes.
Washed away your hopscotch.
Look at that.
Nice.
Nice and soft compared to what's in there.
What's the lining? It's got a foam lining?
Yeah, just on that pad, yeah. What do you want to do next?
Do that one.
This one? Annabelle. Oh, these aren't the kind that pop. That's disappointing.
Aww.
Yes, you can. The tire cover.
Nice.
Two chrome armrests.
Oh, they're all chrome? I thought they
They
had.
get a pad on.
Okay.
Spare tire hose mounts, clips, screws. Here's the two pads. The dowels for the cowl. One of the Ford stickers. Heater coil. Seat belts are what we got on the bottom.
Oh, nice.
These are all of our seat belts.
Since you're going to install your own third seatbelt in the back.
Yes. We got the chrome lift latch. Like we're on an airplane.
Right.
5 seat belts. We got 5 in the family, so I'm putting 3 in the back, one right across the middle of the bin. New blower with squirrel cage. Let's do this one. Back strip.
What is it?
This is the underling for under the carpet.
Oh, okay. That came in the interior kit.
Yeah. I didn't think you could fit in a box so small.
You know what I mean.
Side tack strips. Yeah. This is the new heater plenum. Here's something you can pop. New heater plenum now made out of plastic instead of that paper that they usually make it out of.
Oh, yeah. More durable.
Yeah. Package it. Heater box. All right, so next day, yesterday I didn't film a ton. I did the heater box, showed a little bit of that, but it was mostly watching paint dry, quite literally. I was painting, more parts for the front end, the sway bar and those spring, what do you call those, the outside half of the shock tower. I want to get the engine in the car, so that way it just gives me more garage space. Not necessarily worried about it running anytime super soon, but I want to get the engine off the stand back in the car. That's the safest place for it. All right, so more delivery today. I know one's carpet. I think this is the top. I'm not sure about this one. It says fragile, do not bend, and is a little bent. Well, let's see what that one is first. Oh, okay. It's the rear quarter trim panels. So the upholstery that goes over the rear quarters on the interior. So it could be bent. The seal kit, water shield kit for the doors. These doors I don't think have any, or they're so far gone. Then more part of the interior trunk stuff. These are the 2 top pieces. So it's the top and the rear window. And then the black carpet. I have to figure out how to lift this now. Before I had the cylinder head off and I used the cylinder head bolt. So now this is a problem.
Well, how did they do it? How would you do it normally?
I have no idea.
I thought you were an expert. What about on one of these here sparkulators? Yeah.
was amazing. This was busted off in the exhaust manifold, and that took forever with heat and different tools. Even resorted to a pipe wrench, finally busted out. And I have stud extractors and still couldn't pull it off with that. It just kept eating it up. But I've got the new studs in there, and I'm putting in the manifold now. So we'll have that piece done. Oh, by the way, engine's in. So that's as tight as I can get it. My belt is not very tight at all. And the alternator hits the bracket. So, not really sure how they had this going before, but yeah. I guess that's probably the wrong alternator, or maybe the wrong bracket for that alternator. Better. All right, so we're back in the garage, and I found out that I used the 2 pre-drilled holes that are here for the starter solenoid that was right there on the battery apron. But because this is a convertible, this bar needs to go there, just like it is on the other side there. And so I'm gonna have to drill that hole and drill another set of holes for the starter solenoid. So got to work on that today, but otherwise just making headway, right? I checked in with some of this, but just slowly bolting some stuff in to get the engine ready, and just trying to make as much progress as I can this weekend. So I'm gonna set y'all up on a time lapse and just crank through some of this, and I'll check back in with y'all in a little bit. All right, well, it started raining, which is nice. Cools it off a little bit. Just to catch all up, I've gotten all the hoses, radiator hoses and heater hoses installed. Moved this down, got it where it needs to go. So next steps, this is the way it was from the way I bought it. I'll eventually get some new heater hose, but I mean, it's still decent quality hose. I bet they just cut this because they were either bypassing it at one point, or you know, they were cutting it to, I don't know, do the motor or something, and didn't want to pull it from under the dash. I went with, by the way, the one that comes out of the firewall. So I've got my two clamps right here now instead of inside by the heater box. So there's my old heater core, and the tubes are like 3 times as long on the one that I bought. That way it goes all the way out here. And that allowed me to put, I just took some of the old foam from the foam that is used between the heater box and the heater box and the cowl. There's that foam ring, it's thick foam. I went in and used that, cut a snip out of it, and used a heat gun to get it nice and straight, and then drilled 2 holes through it, and then ran that flush against the backside where it's kind of stretched out and pushed against the firewall to kind of seal that up. I don't know if that'll work. I may have to go back with some butyl or something like that to do a better seal, but I think that's good enough for now. So next, I want to clean up the carburetor and go ahead and install it. I'm not going to go through it until I have to, but I've got just this new fuel filter on it, and this is just like dirty, dusty, grimy. So I'm going to clean it up, just the outside of it, get it cleaned up. I've already run some carb cleaner through the inside of it, but I'll get that cleaned up and then get it bolted on is the next thing I want to work on. All right, I think we're going to call that the weekend. Got quite a bit done. I'd have liked to have gotten more, but you know, engine's in, the all of the ignition system is in, fuel system is in. I think the only thing I'm lacking here is I've got to run the vacuum line from the intake down to the transmission, and then all of the electrical. So all that harness down there has to be repaired from where the person clipped it. So I need to get that squared away, and I need vacuum at the distributor and vacuum at the transmission, and then otherwise I'm done. So yeah, and then after that she'll be ready to fire. So if you haven't, be sure to hit the like button if you like what you're seeing, and subscribe. That subscription doesn't cost you anything and helps me out a lot. All right, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.